Right, welcome to the Dennison Breakfast Show. Time for another guest. And we have John Vale on the show now. John Vale is a fellow DJ who spent over a decade and a half working in the Canary Islands. It's glad to have him on. Hello, John. How are we?
Hello, Danny.
Yeah, great stuff. Welcome to the show. So you were likewise a DJ yourself, and
Yes.
you just come back from abroad. It's good to be back, isn't it?
It was when the sun was out and everyone's spirits were up and we were in the World Cup and, it was very good, actually. But there's a lot of things you miss when you're abroad, but the most important thing was family and friends.
Yeah. So you've worked abroad for a decade and a half. What's been your most memorable experience or memory?
Wow. Well, sometimes the best nights are the ones you can't remember, but I do have very fond memories of the people that I've met out there.
Yeah.
I had my two children out there as well, so they still live there. They're in Tenerife.
Yeah.
So, quite a few things, really. Had some lovely houses out there, swimming pools and the works. So I think just the general feeling of being abroad, waking up in the sunshine every day, beautiful Spanish people that are always very welcoming.
Yeah.
If you make the effort, they always tend to make the effort with you. So the overall experience was a fantastic one and have lots of different memories. Yeah.
Great stuff. And what is your advice to DJs who are thinking about taking the plunge to do a season in holiday resorts? Is it as easy as packing up and going, or is there a lot of preparation into taking the plunge, so to speak?
Yeah, I suppose it differs really, because if you're going out there looking to take over and be the number one DJ wherever you're going, it's not going to happen because the local people want to hear the local music, the local DJs, but you do have the tourist trade, and pretty much that's where I kind of applied my trade was that I went there knowing that there's going to be a broad range of people from all over Europe. So I played to that. I literally put my decks in a suitcase. I went over for a month to begin with as well. So I had like 100 copies of my latest mix. Yeah. And I just went and spoke to people. I walked into pubs and bars and clubs, and I just said, look, I'm here for a month. If you have anything come up, and that's how I got into it. And luckily, if you are a people person, which I am, you just make friends, and that's the way to get into places. You can send a million emails, people will never open them. You can go in and drop your CD in a bar. No, you've got to speak to the owner, and you've got to speak to the local people, which is what I did.
So it's not an overnight thing; it's a gradual process. As you say, going over there and getting a feel for the place, seeing other DJs, and getting your name out there. What is with the recession and everything? What is the wage out there? Can you actually make a living from DJing abroad, or is it more kind of like a holiday? Do you treat it more as a break, a holiday, just to get on by with the living?
Yeah. In my case, I was very fortunate. I like to think that I made the right moves to make the opportunity, but I went into bars and I said, look, I'm a UK DJ, I play this type of music, here's my CD, but if you have anything coming up in the next couple of weeks while I'm here, I'll come in and do the party for nothing, because I want you to see how good I am. I got such a big response, but the main thing was there was a big party going on for someone's birthday. The guy said, listen, if you want to come in and play, we're having this big party, all the locals are going to be there. And two of the bouncers that work at the local club happened to come in that night, and they both came up to me and said, look, we want you to meet our manager, we want you to come play in the club. So I was fortunate, but I was in the right place at the right time through the hard work and the graft of getting in there to speak to people. So, the wage, it wasn't the best in the world, as you can imagine. But, I mean, as a resident DJ of the club, which is what happened, I got, 70 to 90 euros a night, which wasn't that bad. But back then it was like, I think it was about 140 to the pound or something ridiculous like that. So it was good money for there. But, if you're talking about the rates people get paid in the UK, then no, it's not. You're not going to make your millions out there. Put it that way.
Oh yes, I remember the good old days when it was 1.4 euros to the pound. Good days, they were good days.
I loved it, honestly.
So here's a bit of a challenge for you. So you got a dance floor and you're struggling to get it filled. What are your 3 wild card songs which guarantee to get the dance floor rocking?
Oh, you know what? It's very difficult because if you're in a very commercial place, then the world is your oyster. Mm-hmm. You can literally, you can put on Michael Jackson, Billie Jean, or something like that. You could throw on a disco song and get everybody dancing stupid. But generally what I found while I was out there was David Guetta.
Yep, David Guetta.
Yeah, or something like I Can't Wait for the Weekend, Michael Gray. Yeah. Those songs are just like everybody knows every single word. Yep. And you just can't go wrong. With an anthem like that, you just can't go wrong. So it depends what generation you're from as well.
Yeah, sure.
I've got a deep appreciation and love of disco, house music, and then obviously all the modern kind of genres of house music, so tech house, deep house. So for the Spanish crowd, they tend to like the really, really commercial stuff. But for the more kind of, the house connoisseurs or whatever, I'd have to play something that was quite current and on trend or whatever. So, yeah, very difficult. But I would always go with the classics, big classic tracks everybody knows the words to.
Right. Yeah, thank you for that one. Good advice there. And how important is it to read the crowd, judge the crowd as well? Is that a good gauge of knowing what type of music they're like?
Definitely. It's very different. So, for instance, if I'm playing in a bar or something like that, my music will be really broad, and I'll have the way that I formulate my music and my sets is that I'll have a folder with 10 tracks that are kind of similar BPM, similar kind of vibe and energy to them, and I can, pick and choose one or the other, But if I'm playing at like a festival or a big nightclub, then I pretty much go in prepared with the music I know I'm going to play. Okay. And I've researched it. I've spent weeks planning out the crowd, what type of DJs normally play there, what do they kind of play. So it's a very different process. But yeah, for your bars and stuff, it's quite easy really in that respect. Yeah.
So when people say DJ, just press the button. But as you're saying there, you do a lot of preparation as well, getting your mixes together as well. So customers as well. There's an old cliche that you always get the one difficult person who comes up to the DJ nagging him. How's the best way of dealing with people like this, awkward like customers? Do you have to eat humble pie? People demand a song. Is there a way to deal with difficult customers like that?
Well, the beauty of playing at the big clubs and the festivals is they can't get through security. Yeah. So you can kind of, but they still try and mouth it.
Sure.
At the foot, they've got like 20,000 watts of bass, like hitting them in the eardrums, but they're still trying to mouth the song request to you. But no, humility really, because ultimately I'm a dancer. I love going to a club or a bar, listening and having a dance. And sometimes when I'm in that mood, I'm like, oh, I'd love to hear that song right now. So I treat them with respect because ultimately they are the patrons. They're paying for drinks in that place and to listen to your music. So yeah, always with humility and just have a chat with them, a conversation. If it's somebody that's asking for something that's completely away from what you're playing, like if they want like jungle techno and you're playing R&B, then you just have to say, I'm really sorry, we're not playing that kind of music tonight, But if you have a song within this genre or whatever, I'm happy to play it.
So try and get on their level and a bit of diplomacy as well, humility. Right, great stuff.
And a bit of banter, at the end of the day, they're out for a good night. You are the focal point, and you can either take that to your own ego and your own head and think you're better than everyone else, or you can have a laugh with people and get in the vibe.
Great stuff. And karaoke is quite popular over like the holiday resorts. Are you a fan?
Yes. You know what? After a few drinks, I'll do it. And once again, it's that thing. People want to be in the limelight. They want to be up on a podium dancing, or they want a mic in the hand singing away. I personally, I obviously haven't done any nights like that myself, but I can see the enjoyment. I've been in there a few times. There was a local bar called Flicks if we're to enter that I was very good friends with the owners. So yeah, I see it as a bit of harmless fun, and I don't mind enjoying myself now and then.
Great stuff. And here's a question. There's only two answers to it. One question, two answers. Old school or new school? What's it going to be?
Oh, my record collection is all old school, going back to like the late 80s, the first kind of acid house, the first big house tracks that came through. And I think a lot of new music, which I also love, takes huge chunks. The credit has to go to the original pioneers, the original foundation of DJs and producers. So I would have to say old school. Yeah.
Good choice. And CDs, MP3s or vinyl? What's your preference?
Oh, I love playing on vinyl. I've got thousands of records. I can remember every single record, where I bought it, the first time I played, the first reaction to it. And I'll just never get over the fact that it's so easy and simple. But I do play, I obviously at the festivals, you've got CDJs. You don't really have the choice. And I don't see the point of playing time-coded vinyls. If they're not the original vinyls, I don't see the point of having turntables at a festival or in a club. So, yeah, I'm going to have to say vinyl.
Okay, and here's a question for you. DJ controllers, can you recommend any good DJ controllers on the market? You know, you've got your Denon and your Pioneers. In your preference, which ones stand out the most for you?
Well, there's two different approaches to it, because if you want to be set up so that you can walk into a club and just make the transition really easy. Most clubs obviously have the Pioneer CDJ 2000s. They'll have the Pioneer DJ 900 mixer. That is the kind of standard in the industry. I like the Pioneer 1000. It's like it's kind of a new one. It's an RX, and it's got all the same kind of features and the same kind of cue buttons that you'll have on a proper setup. So that's what I use at home. So it's a Pioneer XDJ, the one that I have. And the RX is good as well. That's cheaper. It's about half the price.
Oh, wow. Well, thanks for the advice there. And do you have a Facebook or any mixes you'd like to tell our listeners where they can find your music, or Twitter?
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm all over Facebook. So my kind of email is DEEJAYRASCAL. So DJ Rascal.
Okay, DJ Rascal.
Or just John Vale. You'll get me on there. And then on that is linked all of my, because I've got different kind of pseudonyms as well. So there's like Playboy Sound System. I used to do a lot of reggae music, a lot of dubs, stuff like that, and drum and bass. And then all the kind of house music is DJ Rascal. So there's links to the festivals I've played at, all the kind of other people that I'm affiliated with as well, like Let It Roll, and other big festivals and stuff. So, yeah, it's all on there. But if you go to John Vale Facebook, you'll be able to find everything else. And also SoundCloud. Playboy's sound system is on there as well.
Cool. And so you're back now. How long are you back for? And you're doing a bit of DJing this side of the UK?
Yeah, so I'm back for good because, I lived a long time away. I've got, like, my brother has got some children. I miss a lot of their lives. I've got family here who have been out of their lives for, nearly 15 years. So it's important now for me to kind of come back, spend more time with them. I am hoping to be back on the circuit in Birmingham, so I'll be getting myself out and about and trying to make that happen. Yeah. But, for me, I just love being in an environment where people are all on the same level, all on the same vibe, just having a good time dancing. So that's where I'll be, hopefully. Good.
That's what it's all about, isn't it, John? Everyone having a good time.
Definitely.
And finally, what song sums John Vale up? If you had to choose an anthem which sums you or your life up, what would it be?
Well, people probably aren't going to like me for this, but my theme song my whole life has been "You'll Never Walk Alone."
Oh, wow.
I've actually got it tattooed down the side of my body. So, yeah, anyone that's like a Man U fan will probably hate me right now. But, no, essentially that song means a lot to me, and it's completely different to everything I do professionally. But I think sometimes the words of a song and the meaning behind it are the most important things, and that's what I'll stick with. Yeah.
So You'll Never Walk Alone was actually from a famous musical, wasn't it? I think it was.
It was
West Side Story.
That's right.
Was it West Side Story? I believe.
Yeah, and then obviously Joey and the Pacemakers.
Yeah.
They made it kind of. And then obviously it's a football anthem as well. So
it is
it's an incredible song.
It is.
Yeah, it's an incredible song, and all of the low points in my life, that song has dragged me through.
Well,
yeah.
Well, John Vale, thank you so much for answering the questions very clearly and concisely. I've learned a lot from it as well, being a fellow DJ, and also great to share your experiences as well. So thanks very much, and I'll keep in touch with you. So it's always good to network with fellow DJs. So John Vale there on The Breakfast Show, me, Danny. Thanks a million, John.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you.
Stuff.